Hi, APCSA students. Welcome to this video series. This is going to be two videos going together, introducing strings. The first video, this one, is going to be going through the slides, and in the second video, I will do some more, go into JGrasp and show it in the coding there. Okay, so strings. So in this unit, we're in the using objects unit, and strings are indeed objects. They are not primitive types, they are object or reference types. So here on this slide, it's demonstrating the 4 ways that we can create and initialize a string. And you should notice that the first method given here at the top is the very formal creating a new object syntax. String A equals new string, and inside the quotes, we're passing to the constructor the value that I want for that string. So strings are unique in that we can also use other ways to declare and initialize them, like you see on 2, 3, and 4. Those are other ways that you might give an initial string its value. But it isn't, it's just a special thing that strings allow for. Other objects, you need to use that full syntax of object A equals new object. So just highlighting that string is indeed an object. So in the bottom, you can see 4 examples of initializing string values. This third example for string C, notice that I'm concatenating 2 string values together to assign that to the variable C. And also notice for that one particular variable, there's not going to be a space between John and Smith because there's no space in those string literals. So we could certainly add a space here and get that space if we wanted. But just paying attention to those details as you go along. All right, so we've been seeing string literals. We've been working with strings a little bit, and so one thing we want to understand is that the way it gets stored in the computer, there's a way that we are able to access each individual letter in a string literal or in a string variable. So this is showing you an example of the index values for this particular string A that has the value j.smith. So each of the letters in that string get an index, and the index always starts with 0 and goes up till you reach the end of the string. Even the space at index 2 gets an index value. The string's length in this case is actually 8. There's actually 8 things in that string literal in the variable A, but they are numbered 0 to 7. So numbering 0 to 7, we get 8 things. What we're gonna play around with now is these string methods that allow us to grab pieces out of a string based on the index value and also find things in the string based on the index value. We're also going to look at some other examples with concatenating strings, with adding string values together in certain cases. So we'll start with the concatenation and then come back. So concatenation, remember, is just the fancy word for adding when you have a string involved, because adding is mathematical, and this is not a mathematical addition. This is sticking them together. So the first example, you can see hello plus 42, even though 42 is a number, we're just going to stick it onto the string, and the result is a string value. Whenever a string is involved with an addition, the result has got to be a string. So in the next example, first we concatenate 1 with the ABC, and then we concatenate 1 ABC with the 2, and we get that result. So you can see some more examples here. The third example, notice that in terms of order of operations, we want to be thinking in terms of order of operations so that we're careful in how we display our result. So for the third example, the string ABC is concatenated with 1, and we get ABC1. And then that string is concatenated with the 2, and we get ABC2. And the next example, because the 1 and the 2 come first and there's a plus sign in between them, and those two are numeric values, I'm going to add them together and get the 3. And then I'm going to do the concatenation with ABC. And the next example, multiplication is higher up on the order of operations, so I would certainly multiply 9 times 3, get 27, and then concatenate. The next example, you'll see a concatenation, and the last one is also showing that we subtract first merely because it comes left to right. The bottom is an example of how you can use it to format your output a little bit. And I'm a little bit in the way, so just, there you go. You do have access to these, the slide deck. So now we're going to go back and talk about some of those index values of the string and things we can do with it. So these are the methods that the College Board wants you to know at the end of the year for string. The string class has a ton of methods, just like the turtle class has a ton of methods, some of which we haven't even tried to use yet. The same is true with string. These are the ones you really want to know by the end of the year. I'm not going to go over equals and compare to in this video, but we will go over the others you see on the list. The first one is just the constructor for the string, which we've already seen. The second one is the length. So recall on that other example that we had here, J. Smith, that the length of that string is 8. So sometimes we're not sure what the length is. We don't get to assign the string, but we need the length. We need that information. We can call this method and it will let us know how many characters are in the string. So the ones we're really going to focus on now are substring and indexOf. So you see them here and here. Getting used to reading a chart like this, it takes some time, so be patient with that process. So here's an example. The first one is the length, so you can see there. So we've made a string called S1, and we've assigned it the value. So S1 gets the value, programming in Java. Above that, you can see the comment with the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's important that right here you understand that the G is 10, and this is 11, 12, 13, 14, right? So the index values for programming in Java go from 0 to 18. The length will be 19. There you can see the index of. So S1, that's the name of the string that we've created, string S1. And if I ask for the index of the letter I in that string, it's going to start at 0, index 0, and move forward in the string until it finds something that matches what's been passed as a parameter right here exactly. So the first one it finds as it traverses this is right here, and that is at index 8. So this method call returns the value 8. So that is what would be printed for that example. The next example, it's looking for exactly GRAM. It starts at 0. It finds GARM at index 3, 4, 5, and 6, all of those. It returns the index value of the first letter. So the G is at index 3. That's what it returns. One thing, just the 3, and that's what would print. For the next one, it's looking for the index of the string literal hi, hi. It again, I'm looking in S1 for this for hi. I start at 0, I traverse through. I never see hi. I reach the end. I return a -1. That's your indicator that it is not found. So anything bigger than or equal to 0 means it was found. -1 will indicate it is not found. So that's index of. That's how I find things in my string. Now I want to take this string and I want a piece of it. For some reason, I want to take out a piece of that string and just use it. Substring is how I do that. Substring is an overloaded method. There are 2 ways I can call it. One is I pass it one number, as you can see here, one parameter. Another is where I pass it 2 numbers, So each of those behaves differently. So when I pass it two numbers, it says, I want you to go to S1, start at index 7, which you can see right here is the M, go up to 10, but don't give me 10. So I'm only going to get MIN. The G is at index 10. I don't want the G, but I give you the 10. So you have to keep that in mind. One way to remember that is that you don't get the letter that's at index 10. The index 10 is the G again, is to subtract these two numbers. 10 minus 7 is 3. You're going to get 3 letters or 3 characters starting at index 7. So start at index 7, MIN, that's all you get. If you pass one number, it says start at that index and give me from there to the end of the string. So it starts at index 12, which is right here at the I, and it gives in space Java and it hits the end of the string. So that's what would be printed out. For the next one, 2, 3, if I subtract 2 from 3, that's 1. That means I'm going to get 1 character starting at index 2. So I'm just going to get the O. 2 minus 2 is 0. Give me 0 characters starting at index 2. Okay, then you get nothing. You print out the empty string. This is not null. This is an empty string. There is a difference. It's a hard difference for students to understand, even second and third year students. Well, second year really. So this is an empty string. That means it's empty. But S1 actually has a value. It's just, there's nothing in it. There's nothing to see. The last example is 10, 17. So 17 minus 10 is 7. Give me 7 characters beginning at index 10. Index 10 is G. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll get the A, but not the V. Another way, again, to remember it is that you don't get the thing that's at index 17. You're going to stop one short. So I have a couple examples to show how you might use them. So if you needed to find a specific, if you wanted to take a chunk out, if you knew where the chunk was, you can use substring to get the chunk. So if book had the value building Java programs and I just want Java, I'm going to write the substring just to pull that out by hard coding the values 9 and 13. We're not going to cover equals until we reach the conditionals unit, but understand that equals and compare to methods are how we evaluate whether two string objects are the same exact word. And which one comes before, so we can use it to do alphabetizing, and that's what the compare to is for. I'm going to skip down. Here's another example that another teacher made. I don't know who Kendrick is. Maybe I'll look it up now. But I do know Snoop Dogg, and I like that Snoop Dogg, that we discard Kendrick for Snoop Dogg. All right, so okay, this is getting into the fact that saying, so S gets the value Kendrick, then I wipe Kendrick out and S gets the value Snoop Dogg, Kendrick is gone. And then here, when I say substring 0 to 5, if I count the index values, that would give me just Snoop. If I printed that, that's what I would see. What this is pointing out is that this does not change S. S is still Snoop Dogg. This just gets a piece of it. So when we print S on the next line, we get the full Snoop Dogg printed out. In order to modify a string, you have to reassign it. You have to say, give this equal sign to reassign it. So if you only wanted the Lil, L-I-L, and Lil Bow Wow, you would figure out what index values you need to pull that out. And then you need to reassign it to the string like this. So this is a good introduction with strings. In the next video, I will show some code, and I encourage you to also tinker with your own code, tinker with the methods, and get this knowledge in your brain and get it to stay. All right, happy coding.